We're on Forza Horizon 2. We're on Xbox Series X, taking a look at this incredible open world racing title that was absolutely stunning for its time. So we retained the original version of the game, which was a 1080p target at 30 FPS. We now have the benefit of the support for auto HDR, which obviously, see HDR in Forza titles. It's lovely. And yeah, this is really one of those just absolutely incredible open world racing experiences. If you've played the series, it just kept getting better and better. I put in so many hours into this one, getting different cars, doing the barn finds, racing around, doing the different levels. And it's fascinating to see the change in the series, the complexity growth. So this is also a very important title for me because I believe it was the first game I got from Xbox to review back in the day when I was, kind of, I guess you could almost say really getting going and really, getting into this kind of business and stuff like that. At least I think so. I think I got some Dead Rising DLC prior, but that doesn't really count like a full game, full first party game to review. So it was kind of I think a surprise because I didn't ask for it. It just kind of appeared one day and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And it was, it was a big deal for me, really. It honestly was. And yeah, this one kind of just holds a close spot in my heart, I guess you could say, in regards to my love of different titles, because I wasn't into racing games, but I was into Forza. I had Motorsport 4 was excellent. I think a lot of people consider that maybe to be one of the best ones of the entire series. Strangely enough, even though I think they've done a lot over the years to improve upon that one, but it's definitely interesting. So yeah, this is the open world, the open road. Drive to all these different places, explore this large map. You see a level 71. It's like, oh, it's like, oh, that's not a huge map, but back then it was really big. It was insanely impressive. These large scale, lovely vistas, these off-road racing you could do, the selection of cars, the drive-avatar system. It was kind of wonderful, and I think there's something appealing. Like, you can't get this game anymore, which I think is such a shame. But there's something appealing about these Forza Horizon titles, because I do argue that unlike the Motorsport series, there's something that you can go back to and you can play, because everyone is completely different in terms of like not only the mechanics, because they evolve upon one another, but in the fact that the different settings kind of make them feel like different stories and different experiences, and they really are just like most lovely of times. It really still does look fantastic, even though it's not quite up to the insane visual quality that its successors hit. I still think this is just a fantastic game. It really is something that I spent so much time playing, from those early developer sessions to, because you get to test out all the online stuff, and that was kind of fun, but to like the later times where I'm racing around, doing challenges, doing extras, hitting the billboards, finding secrets, collectibles. It was definitely a special game. No, that's for sure. At least to me particularly. And I know you look at the later games and it's like, oh, they've evolved so much. They really have. I still think Forza Horizon 4 is the best racing game ever made. Before it, I thought Horizon 3 was the best racing game ever made. And I guess I just kind of have the series to thank for the fact that I actually enjoy racing games now, which is kind of crazy. Because it's not something I was ever really truly into during the 360 era. I just wasn't. Wasn't big on racing games. You see, I remember kids at like parties and stuff when I was little, and they'd be like all over Need for Speed, and I was just like, I don't know. But yeah, your tastes change. You play different things. You experience different games, and I think it's kind of it's interesting, right, to be in here and taking a look at this and seeing what this has to offer. Definitely a fun game. And then also the theme of Horizon is kind of fun. I really love it, and occasionally, every once in a while, oh wait, I really want that board. I'll go back and I'll listen to like the intro video for this one, where it's like a live action video. I actually complain to the developers every single time we do like a discussion thing for their new Horizon games, where it's like, are you guys doing, or any of the Forza titles, it's like, you guys doing to do one of those live action openings? Because they're amazing. If you've never watched the live action openings, I highly suggest doing so. They're just so engaging and riveting. So this one's like a countdown to Horizon, and I just think there's something special about that, you know, just kind of like just lying there and kind of enjoying the themes of like a car meet or something like that. There's just something exciting about it. There's something thrilling. The idea, the concept of speed, and it's like I also really like the one where they're like, "Why do we race?" And it's just really interesting and then thought provoking because it's just a simple little thing. It's a short clip. You know, it's just regular people with cars and stuff like that. It doesn't seem that special, but it really kind of is, because there's something special about like driving and cars and racing. There is, you know, it's something inherently fascinating that we've created these vehicles that we can, you know, speed along and tour these places and get places. Or for some people, like, you know, myself, you know, you drive because you need to get places because it's the climate you live in. But for some people, you know, so it's a little bit more than that. It's definitely a passionate thing. But I'm totally just like completely off topic on, you know, what this is, because, you know, I'm just talking about the love of, you know, driving around and playing racing games. It's really cool, but I really do feel that the Forza series is just something truly special in gaming. But moving past that, you know, obviously open world, the second entry in the series, it expanded the scope of things. It was a next-gen version, so it kind of really did set the mark for being a crazy racing experience. It had a great soundtrack. The music was just bumping and insane, and obviously I can't share that, but it's really great. Pulse obviously is the best, no contest. And You and Me by Bass Nectar is just kind of like my rain song, so even in real life when I'm driving in the rain, I like to have that one on if I can. It's just kind of cool. But yeah, and then it's got these showcase events that were really cool. There's one with like balloons and stuff. I thought that was wild. Obviously the day-night cycle, a little bit of weathering, lots of different races you can do. We're just obviously driving around because it's so awesome. But yeah, it doesn't feel as big in comparison to the, you know, the modern Forza titles in regards to what you can do in it. But it still feels like a great place to jump in and tour around. I don't know if we'll do any races, but, you know, you got things like cross country. Oh, that was one of those trees that doesn't fall over. It's always a risk, right? You know, which tree is a tree that you can like break, and which tree is a tree that does not break. I think someday we'll get to a point where you can smash like all the trees and stuff, and you just have this huge open area to explore. Yeah, it's kind of a nice place. I still really do wish that we would get a Forza Canada, because I think they could just do some gorgeous things with that one. I know it might be biased being from there, but I really do think the variety of biomes and stuff and the scale of it could just make such an incredible title. And that's next gen dreams, right? Seeing like where things are going, what they do next with it. I think that's the fun of it. But you know, you get different bands, like wristbands, and you level up and you do different missions. And there's like, I think the last mission you do, and it's got the rewind system, which I think is like a genuinely an essential feature of, you know, racing games these days, at least in my opinion. Should we go down? Yeah, okay, let's keep going. Yeah. Oh, we're getting some rain. Awesome. But I don't think we'll do any races. I really don't necessarily get the point of doing that. But I think the last race in this one was, because it's a little bit more set, right? Like in the later Forza titles, you get to kind of like blueprint your races, like pick your own races, make your own races and stuff. Whereas this one is like, you know, it's set. And I think the last main mission race that you had to do was one where you're kind of doing like the whole world, and it was just insane. It was like this huge race that was so long. I just remember doing that, you know, before the game launched, and being like, oh, this is so exciting to review this and stuff. It's such an honor in that. And then I think this was like right before we got the Master Chief Collection, which was an even bigger deal for me to review that one, because it was like, you know, obviously huge on Halo. And I was like, oh, this is insane, the fact that I get to review a Halo game. Oh, there's DLC and stuff, and Drivatars, where you see other real players driving around doing their thing. But yeah, that was a big deal for me too, because I love Halo. I think I was actually working at like an office or something at this point, maybe for a little bit, and I didn't really like it. So that's kind of interesting to think about. That it didn't really go, or it didn't really happen for me, that I was to stay in that kind of thing. But I'm pretty happy with what I do now. I also feel like we haven't shown off any good vehicles. I just got my Porsche. Like, not to say that Porsche isn't a good car, but I haven't really stopped in any shops to kind of show off what I have. I think this was from the Porsche thing. I got a gift. Yeah, I think that's because I just did the hub thing. Yeah, the Storm Island DLC, and then there's the Porsche DLC. I got to review all this stuff. Is there like a Cars thing? My Cars. Is it gonna load any of the cars? Well, we've got the Romeo Super GT. Yeah. Well, I think I own vehicles. A lot of them are just white, blanked out. A lot of cars. Ah, the Huracan. Was that the cover car? Remove car. Yeah, it's some Lambos. I think I had like a sick McLaren. Yeah, 12C. Huh, beautiful vehicles. Oh yeah, and the van. I remember doing the multiplayer sessions with people, like the developers, and they had like, I guess they retrofitted a van, like maybe X-Class. I might be mistaken because I'm trying to think about it, but they like retrofitted and it was like out driving our Lambos, and somebody in the group was like, so with my Lamborghini Diablo or whatever, I think it's Diablo, and he's driving across. Is this an accurate representation of what it would be like to drive across the grass when it's raining? And the developers are like, well, no, 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 no. And it's like, it's just kind of funny. At least I thought it was, kind of just these little jokes and stuff. Those sessions are fun. I don't think they really host too many of them these days when you're doing review stuff. Definitely seems like Xbox hasn't in a long time. I can't even remember the last session that they hosted for like a review thing. Usually you just gotta kind of get it done by yourself nowadays. Anyways, I digress. It's just kind of an amazing racing game, and if you can try it, you can play it, you can get your hands on it, I think you'll have a wonderful time exploring what this has to offer. The scope of the experience, the sights, the feel of the road, it's still great. And, obviously the later Forza titles, better, right? They're definitely better, they're improved. But there's something about being able to tour each of the different Horizon games that I think is special. And I wish that the licensing, that they could do something better with it. More longevity. Because unlike the motorsport games, where they're a little bit more like throwaway-ish, if that makes sense, I think when you look at this series, there's something where it's like, they should keep doing them. I know motorsport is going to be like a long-term kind of thing, project for them, going years from now, I imagine, when that one releases, what they're going to be doing with it. But what I'm saying is, like, because that's going to be like the definitive motorsport. These Horizon series, they're still games that you could do every couple of years, every few years. And every one of them will feel special. Every one of them will feel unique. Every one of them will be different, because you can go to different places and see different locations and experience different roads and drive differently. And while, mechanics will age, cars won't look as pretty over time, like mine's getting all banged up, there's still something about the different settings that makes them so exciting and thrilling to experience and drive along. And I think that's kind of cool, and something that should be kept in mind when we're looking at these older titles. It's like, these ones sort of do deserve some level of preservation to them, because they are so great. they're really, really cool. Like, this one is still a lot of fun to play. I've been having a blast just, driving along the coast, seeing the different vehicles. Oh, we should have went down there. Should we go around? I just remember the opening, like when you first open the game, you get that loaded video, and it's just like, you will be in Horizon and whatever, and it just kind of opens up to this insane drive, and the music and the atmosphere and the excitement of you going on this like touring event. I actually really would like it if like Horizon was like a real event that Microsoft held. I think that would be so cool, like to go to like some kind of, well, obviously not nowadays, but to go to like a car event or something like that. Like, I don't even really care about cars that much. I love driving, but I don't care enough where I'm like, oh, I know this model, I know that model. But I think it would be really fun to go to a like music festival kind of thing where it's like a focus on cars, and it was like the Forza festival in real life. I think that would be really, really neat. I think that would be a lot of fun to do. I think it'd be really, really cool to like experience. I think a lot of people would actually find that really thrilling and exciting. Here's all my beauties. Oh, look at my Ferraris, my Lamborghini. Ooh, the Veneno Avendar. Which one's better? This one is, right? No, is this one 2 billion? Do I actually own these cars? I thought I had these cars. Getting car, I do have these cars. Okay, what else I got? Did they have... Oh, the McLaren. Oh, ooh, the McLaren. I don't think they had the Warthog yet. Let's get in the McLaren. I want to get in the Lambo, because I think the Lambo's maybe worth a little bit more, but we'll get in the McLaren to kind of wrap things up here. Just so I show off a different car, because I feel like I'm just driving around the Porsche all the time and giving you some kind of weird preference to Porsche. You know, all these vehicles I'll never own. It's kind of funny. Oh, yeah, doing the 6-spin. But I think it'd be really fun to do, like, a real-life Horizon Festival. I think they could really pull off something cool, like, for, I don't know, maybe for the launch of it. But maybe this is, like, a new, like, thing that Microsoft gets into, is these fun, like, party-type festivals of, you know, like, a love of cars, a love of, you know, music and entertainment. It seems like actually a pretty cool concept. I don't know if other people think it would be, but I think that would be a lot of fun. You just go and party down and check out cars and, you know, celebrate something. I don't know. Might be exciting. Maybe it could incite stuff, but you know what I mean. I just think it'd be a really cool sort of experience and one to venture into. So obviously lots of cars, leveling your cars with the skill thing, getting new cars, doing races, doing challenges, doing side missions, exploring the open landscape, exploring the scenery, having a great time unlocking vehicles, and enjoying the gorgeous world around you as you just drive around. And obviously, you know, it's not necessarily as pretty as its successors, but it still is something that I think is so genuinely exciting and exhilarating to experience. To drive down the open road with this landscape and smash into things occasionally. It's late at night and I'm open into stuff, but anyways, yeah, it's kind of just like a fun game. Oh, the showcase events were so cool. I know they're more complex now, but it was so neat seeing them for the first time. Yeah, they really did magic with this game. I just remember it so fondly. Could you get out of the way of my McLaren with that garbage vehicle? I don't know. Kind of fun, kind of neat. Anyways, I think that about wraps up what I have to say about Horizon 2 and, you know, what the game has to offer, which is the thrilling excitement of open world driving and causing mayhem to these poor vineyards where people are just trying to grow wine and stuff that I enjoy. I assume that's why they're growing the vineyards, right? I think that makes the most sense. Oh yeah.